Thank you very much, Martin. And ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues, please allow me to welcome you to this 10th edition of the Academy by the ILO on social and solidarity economy, an agenda centered on the person that is looking at the future of labor. I would also like to take the opportunity to thank the Ministry of Labour and Social Policies, third sector. We hope that the sub-secretary will be here presently so that we can thank him personally, and also Mrs. Petillo. I would like to thank her and all the people of the ministry that worked from the technical standpoint and also from the financial standpoint to organize this academy. I would also like to thank Professor Orzaga, who is here today with us, and he was here 10 years ago in the first edition. He represents EURIXA, which is a European research center, and is going to be with us in the following session. And I also like to thank all the colleagues from the Geneva ILO and Turin, who have worked truly hard for the organization of this academy. So in 2010, we have organized the first edition here in Turin. Then we've done 3 in the Americas, 1 another in Europe, 2 in Africa, and 1 in Asia. And now we're back here in Turin. So we are very, very happy. We are back here in Turin to celebrate this 10th edition. Now, talking about happiness, please allow me to recall a great person who is not with us since a year, Mr. and Professor Paul Singer, who used to tell us that SSE produces happiness apart from many other things. And so, I believe that he was absolutely right. I see many faces that I know among the participants. I didn't know whether this is a sign of happiness, but definitely participating to this academy obviously entails a form of pleasure. So, and has to be a pleasant moment. So it's great to see that you're coming back for more of the same. So, the ILO has been a pioneer in promoting social economy. Like the director has just recalled a while ago, this is the year of the centenary. So we're celebrating 100 years of the ILO. So in 1921 or 22, I don't really remember, but a few years later, we had the cooperatives that were created among the organization. This gives you an idea of the amount of experience that has been accumulating all along these years. So why? Well, basically because the organization believes that social economy as well as solidarity economy can contribute to attaining social and environmental goals, and at the same time pursue social prosperity as well as economic prosperity. So in this sense, the organization is trying to promote a favorable climate where this type of economy can give its contribution to create dignity in labor and to promote social justice. And of course, human rights, the rights of laborers that are internationally acknowledged. And we believe that SSE has a huge potential in order to contribute to the daily efforts in order to orient economies towards sustainable development, especially in our global context where things are changing so rapidly, technologically, demographically, and environmentally. We're going to talk about this at length during the week. Now, poverty, lack of equality, unemployment, these are important challenges when we think about sustainability. We truly believe that by adopting environmental criteria and as well as explicit social criteria, the enterprises of social economy can contribute to strengthen the vulnerable groups, both politically and economically, through a collective effort and through collective actions, and also to promote better social cohesion. The goal of this academy that is kicking off now is to share experiences, methodologies, as well as results that allow us to strengthen all the different networks and to contribute into the design and enactment of innovative policies that obviously have to satisfy the requirements we have nowadays. Like the director just said, Yang or Liu, talking about the 100-year celebration, there is an initiative which is focused on labor, and this has produced a report that has been presented in January this year, 2019, where all of these challenges are highlighted. It mentions globalizations, migration flows, the environmental degraded situation, and many countries are experiencing the impact of these changes. It is obvious that this turbulence, if we can call it as such, is going to increase, and these changes will have to be handled bearing in mind the requirements that the different societies have, as well as the rights of citizens. Mrs. Petillo made reference to the reform of the third sector. That for us is a very interesting example. We're going to talk about this at length in one of the sessions of this academy, the reform of the third sector in Italy, which is an innovative juridical framework that wants to respond to a world of labor that is obviously evolving and changing dramatically. Now, during this academy, hence, we're going to talk about the digitalization of work. We're going to talk about transition towards formal economy, social financing, communities, as well as enterprises created in different communities, dignity in and at work. So I encourage you to truly share with all of your colleagues, the colleagues with whom you're going to create your work groups, to really share all of your experiences, all of your best practices that you have, as well as intuitions or new ideas. Now, by completing and concluding this welcoming speech, I would like to say that the values and the principles that belong to social and solidarity economy, we're talking about democracy, solidarity, etc., are in line with the 2030 agenda and with the objective number 8, in other words, creation of suitable and dignity at work. So the idea is to rebuild and to really revisit and to all of those mechanisms, all of those structures that generate disequality and exclusion. We truly believe that all enterprises and in belonging to the SSE are an important tool in order to attain this goal. And from our observatory as an international organism, we see how SSE actually is pulling everybody's attention, especially the policymakers' attention, with it's like an instrument that wants to somehow focus on the sustainable development goals, because one of the criticisms was that these objectives were too far high up into a wonderful world that is not there. So obviously, on the 100th birthday, so to speak, of the ILO, this is extremely important, because what we want to do is to strengthen our determination into giving shape to the future of labor that has to be equal, dignityful for everybody, has to be open to everybody and attainable by everybody. We're truly happy, and we know that we have to change the model we currently have for development that is obviously not working from the social standpoint, from the economic standpoint, nor from the environmental standpoint. And I believe that meetings such as this Academy are extremely important. They will contribute to the co-construction of a new paradigm of consumption and production. During this week, you have the opportunity, obviously bearing in mind your own personal experiences, you can contribute to this co-construction. So thank you very much for your kind attention, and I truly hope this week will be excellent for all of you. Thank you so much.